Hi, welcome students, welcome panelists to the Transfer Tuesday, UH Mānoa Transfer Workshops. We're so happy to have the panelists, which I'll introduce very soon. Thank you all for being here, Oahu and Neighbor Island students. I just want to introduce three of us. Three of us are sort of pioneering this UH system transfer workshops for community college students. And I'll just quickly introduce myself, and then Amy, you can go ahead and then join, and then we'll move on to what the agenda will be like. My name is Laurie Labares. I'm the Leeward Community College counselor. I'm a generalist counselor. I mostly help students who are transferring to another university out of Leeward, hopefully to UH Mānoa, and also I target the social science students. Nice to meet all of you.
And aloha, my name is Amy McKee. I am the transfer specialist for Leeward Community College, and I help students transfer to UH Mānoa. So happy that you are all here joining us, and I hope you'll learn a lot today. And then Jordan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Jordan Luton. I am a online counselor at Leeward Community College. So my kuleana is pretty much to advise the students taking the 5-week online courses through Leeward's online AA degree program. So I'm happy to be here, happy to see you all online learning more about transfer options at UH Mānoa.
Okay, so just a reminder, today's session will be recorded. It is going to be webinar style, therefore your mic and video will be off. However, we still want you to be able to communicate with us and us with you, so please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A option. If you do have any technical difficulties, please just let us know in the chat, and Amy, our tech expert, will help you. Also, we'll be sending an evaluation. Please do the evaluation. It helps us as the coordinators know if this is working. We also would like to share it with presenters. It would be good to give them feedback as well. It is anonymous. If you want to leave your name, you can, and we can follow up with you in any way. So quickly, the agenda will be hearing from Selena Herrera from the psychology department. Also, we're so happy to have UH Mānoa students Bryson and Christina to talk about Psi Sigma, the social psychology club on campus. And then Dr. Lori Yankura will talk about the human development and family studies programs. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you.
So a little bit about UH Mānoa before we get started. If you didn't know, UH Mānoa was founded in 1907. And it's considered a land, sea, space, and sun grant institution. We offer over 100 majors for students to choose from, as well as graduate and professional degree programs, including law, medicine, business, social work, education, and engineering. UH Mānoa is considered a Research 1 institution, an NCAA Division I school, and we strive to be a Hawaiian place of learning. If you're thinking about transferring to UH Mānoa in the next 1 to 2 years, we'd love for you to consider joining the KAE Program. The KAE Program is a partnership between UH Mānoa and the community colleges, and we provide proactive academic advising to help students make that smooth transition to UH Mānoa. To be eligible to join the program, students need to have at least 24 transferable level credits earned or in progress, a 2.0 GPA, and have at least 1 semester remaining at the community college before transferring over. If you'd like more information about this program, please feel free to send me a message in the chat, and I'd be happy to connect with you. All right, and then why don't we turn it over to our next speakers, Dr. Loriana Yankura and Nicole.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you guys came to hear about both of our majors. Honestly, I want to be a psychology major now. Oh, wait, I was. Speaking to what Selena said, my undergraduate degree is in economics and my master's degree is in psychology. And then I ended up in human development and family studies, which tells you a little bit about HDFS. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Let me get my presentation up here. But wow, you guys are a hard act to follow. I totally want to be a psychology major again. So what I'm going to talk a lot about are major of human development and family studies. And as you're going to see, my presentation is going to be a little different from the one that you saw before, because I've got sort of a bigger job. I have to explain what exactly our major is. And I will be accompanied by our student ambassador, Nicole Ocasio. And she's going to give you the real nuts and bolts. I'm a professor, so I'm going to give you a little bit of the scholarly background, but Nicole's the one that will be telling you, filling in the details. So our contact information is here, and we are Human Development and Family Studies, and I will explain what that is. I first want to acknowledge that Nicole's time and a lot of work that we've been recently putting in on transfer students from the community colleges, because we know that it's a unique and special group of students. So we want to make sure that we address people's needs, is through a specific grant we have with Windward Community College. And that's called the Kumu'ola Transfer Program. Through that, we have special peer mentors, of which Nicole is one, and some special transfer protocols that we're establishing with Windward Community College to make it easier just to come straight from HDFS or social sciences straight into UH Mānoa. So a lot of those principles, and definitely the lounge and the mentors, will apply to people from Leeward. But I wanted to acknowledge that program because it's really important to us. It's focused on Native Hawaiian values. So what am I going to talk about today? I have a very, very short welcome message from the dean. And then finally, I'm going to tell you what human development and family science is. Finally, Nicole is going to give you a little campus tour. Then I'm going to talk a little more about resources and possibilities, similar to what Selena's presentation was. What does it actually look like? And then I'm going to end with a welcome message from our advisors, because they're the ones who actually walk you through step by step of the human development and family science major. So first, a short welcome message from the dean. I might stop it early because he gets a little silly towards the end. So here's a welcome message from the dean of our College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources. And stop right here. You might be wondering, what do families have to do with agriculture? It goes into a little bit of the history of the UH Mānoa, but UH Mānoa was founded as a land grant university. So you heard that as part of Amy's presentation. And a land grant unit means that it's our responsibility to share our academic knowledge with the people of Hawaii. So as I'm going to go in again and again, we are what's known as an applied discipline. We take in information from the communities. We compare that, we use our scholarship to enrich that information and take it back out to the communities through education or research projects are working together. So we are in the land grant college because of our close connection with the land and the people of Hawaii. So here's the message from Dean Comerford, and we'll probably cut it off at the end when he gets a little silly.
So welcome to the Kumu'ola project. I have been asked by mentors to welcome you to this program and to welcome you to your potential entry into CTAR. Kumu'ola translated can mean tree of life. And this is what our program in human development and family studies actually addresses. We look at the tree of life in terms of human development, and the source of life is families. Family is important as it is the framework of values for the individual. So a functioning family is always important. And the family is the most important influence in the life of a child. So enjoy your experiences now. We look forward to you coming to CTAR. If you have any questions, our academic program advisors are there to answer any and all of your questions.
So now I'm going to answer the $8 million question as to what HDFS is. It's within a family of postmodern or applied disciplines. So it's not nearly as old as psychology or sociology or economics. It's an outgrowth of those types of disciplines. And the basic idea is that in order to understand families and individuals as we function in communities, we don't look at them in isolation. We look at them in the context of where they live, how they live, their economic status, their cultural status, their family and individual functioning. So family science provides a unique and important perspective on understanding and working with families. And a lot of students say that they call us a hidden gem. They wish they had found us earlier. So while research in psychology and sociology focuses on observing and describing individuals or groups, the focus in family science is specifically on families and the understanding and distinct dynamics we find within them in relationships, interactions, and more. So I do active research. I have an active research program in family science, and I study grandparents raising grandchildren, and I also study resilient families. I look at the things that make families strong. One example of that is during this COVID crisis. We are really interested in what families are going to come out of this crisis stronger than before. So that's family science. Again, we are relationship focused. We're looking at family relationships, and we're a little bit concerned with the individual, but we're also concerned with relationships among and between family members, parenting, couples, grandparenting. Again, we're multidisciplinary. So that means that we're interested in individual dynamics, individual development, as well as influences on environment and health, economics, public policy, culture, those types of things that influence families. We're evidence-based. So that means that our decisions are based upon research. So we do have a research methods course, which is required for all majors, and I teach that, and I love it. We're strengths oriented. So instead of focusing on dysfunctions in families or problems, we're focused on what makes them healthy, what makes them work. So in that sense, we're preventative. We're trying to prevent disease or dysfunctions or poor child outcomes or poor parent outcomes. And then probably most important is that we're applied. And that means that in concordance with the land grant mission, we're focused on our students holding jobs in the community, actually working with families to make them better. So family science professionals are uniquely positioned to understand family research findings, recognize what healthy family functioning look like, prevent problems before they occur, and to use an educational approach to help families identify and build on their strengths. And then finally, most of our majors and our professors are really passionate about what we do. We want to positively impact society by empowering families to enrich their own well-being. I can provide a copy of this infographic if anybody would like it, and I'm definitely going to provide the website. This answers the question that your parents or anybody who's paying for your education, such as yourself, should be really concerned with. What kind of jobs do you get with a degree in family science? And I'm just going to mention some of these. Some of our graduates find work with companies, business, consumer, and family resource services. People do food assistance programs, child and family poverty research, helping people find work-life balance, which is a big thing in employers nowadays because that's becoming more and more important to people to find competitive jobs. A lot of our students locally, and we do have an internship, work for community-based social services, youth development programs, adoption agents, teen pregnancy prevention, etc. Many of ours also work in education. There's community education, family life education. Bookmark that one in your mind, family life education, because I'm going to talk about that later. Even more jobs. We've got jobs in family interventions. So that's related to that prevention. Faith-based organizations, it's a great major to be a youth pastor or involved in youth organizations because you can help people understand their families. Early childhood education. We've got a partnership with the early childhood education on campus. Government and public policy. I've had several students who have been on internships to Washington, D.C. to look at research in government and public policy, both actually in Washington, D.C., and then I've had a couple be interns for local politicians here on family matters. Then there's healthcare and family wellness, child life, nutrition education, long-term care programs. We also include all members of the family, which includes older adults, international education, research, and then writing and communication. In fact, one of our extension agents, Heather Greenwood, works with one of my classes to help students. We have a contest because Heather has a monthly column in the Maui News, and the students in the class compete to see if their assignments will get published as research articles. So this summer, there have been quite a few student assignments in the Maui News. So now we're going to get our lovely campus tour with Nicole, who's going to show you a little bit about the UH Mānoa campus and some areas that are specific to CTAR and human development and family sciences.
Aloha, my name is Nicole. Come follow me as I show you some important spots here at UH Mānoa as a human development and family studies major. Let's go to our first spot. Here we have St. Clair Circle, where many students commute by riding the A bus. Right next to it, we have St. Clair Library, which we'll be heading to next. Here at St. Clair Library, many students are able to study and also bring in food and drinks. There are also other advising centers that we offer here at UH Mānoa, and we also have some tutoring services such as the Learning Assistance Center. Right next to St. Clair Library, we have Wale located in Hemingway Hall. Wale is one of our popular spots here at UH Mānoa, where many students come here to grab and go food and drinks. We also have the American Savings ATM and Hawaii Food Vault, which takes in donations for UH Mānoa students and is open to UH Mānoa students. Following the pathway from Wale, we can make our way to the Warrior Recreation Center. Here at the Warrior Recreation Center, students are able to squeeze quick workouts in between classes. And right next to it, we have the bookstore where students are able to purchase books and their campus gear. Right next to the Warrior Recreation Center, we have Miller Hall, which locates most of our HDFS classes and also houses the Family and Consumer Sciences Department. Here at Gilmore Hall, we have our College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, also known as CTAR. Here we also have the Academic and Student Affairs Office and our Academic Advising Office, which also has our CTAR Student Lounge. Here is Paradise Pond, the second dining location where many students eat, drink, and hang out. Here we have Hamilton Library, where many students study, research, and also rent study rooms. Evelina Maika Koika Ko Ohana HDFS. Welcome to our HDFS family.
So next, I'm going to talk about resources and possibilities. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what type of classes HDFS majors take and our internship. So this is just our core courses for the HDFS major. We follow the basic general ed from UH Mānoa, but there are two exceptions to be requirement of CTAR. Students need to take food science and human nutrition 185 for their DB, and then Econ 120 or 130 or 131 or NREM 220 for their DS. So those are required because the HDFS degree is a BS. Our core courses give you kind of like that psychology, a little taste of each of the options that we offer. HDF 230 is lifetime human development. 340 is couples, marriages, and families. 360 is family financial resources. Once you take those, you're eligible for these down here, which are your tracks. So you can focus on family development, which has classes such as parenting. You can focus on family resource management, which has more of the family financial and family policy aspects. And then you can also focus on human development, which is very similar to the psychology's developmental core, but again, a little more focused on the multidisciplinary nature. So for example, I teach 334, which is adulthood and aging. I also focus a lot on the physical aspects of aging and gerontology. So once you've got most of those done, you'll typically take 380 and 380L, which is our research methods. And in that, each student completes their own research project. They get to answer their own research question and answer it using the scientific method. And then the very last year of classes in a student's senior year, in the fall, they'll take HDS 492, which is a required internship in the community. And we have a lot of internships that are very similar to the jobs that I showed you before that are available in HDFS. And again, we have some national and international internships available as well. And then the capstone portfolio, and that's the very last semester that students do, and that's when they take all of their HDFS experience as a whole and reflect upon it and learn how soft skills and learn how to apply for jobs and or graduate school, whatever their desire is. Like I mentioned before, it's an applied degree. It's got a lot of focus on performing when you get out of school. As I also mentioned, many of our students plan to work in early education settings, at which time they would take these courses to prepare them for an associate's degree in early childhood education or a master's degree in early childhood education. We also have a certificate in gerontology, which we work with the UH Center on Aging, and that's older adults, if you don't know what gerontology means. And then this is what I mentioned before as the Certified Family Life Educator. There's a national organization called NCFR, that's the National Council of Family Relations, and that has a national certification for anybody who would like to become a family life educator. And these are individuals that have knowledge of these 10 basic areas of family development, and then they go into careers that they educate families. They become an adjunct to a school district or a hospital, and they help teach families how to function better. So here's some links, and I can share this PowerPoint, and I guess I can definitely give these links to Amy. These are the selected resources at UH Mānoa. We've got our undergraduate information in human development and family sciences. It's linked to CTAR advising, and they can tell you everything that I forgot to tell you. And then we also have our major handbook, which is super easy to understand. It's very, very clear, and that's posted online. The professional resources, just in case you want to answer that question, what can you tell your families about what you can do with a degree in family resources? Here's the link to the National Council of Family Relations. That's NCFR, that it serves both the research end of family science and that Certified Family Life Educator program. And then this last one is new, and I really, really love it. It's very, very clear. And it's basically what is family science, what kind of careers you can get, what exactly do we do. So I will end up with a welcome message from our CTAR advisors.
Aloha students, my name is Miley Singh and I'm one of 3 academic advisors for the College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, otherwise known as CTAR, at the University of Hawaii at Mānoa. I am so excited to be able to welcome you as you enter the pathway towards our Human Development and Family Studies program. And I want to assure you that it's never too early to begin connecting with us. We are available for your advising needs.
Hi, aloha folks. My name is Irene. Thank you for considering or already choosing our Human Development and Family Studies program as your major.
Welcome to the College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, or CTAR for short. My name is Matsumoto Oka. I'm here to help you with the transition from Windward to UH Mānoa. So we can help you with evaluating what courses will transfer in, as well as planning for your future academic pathway. So you can book an appointment with us at any time to help you with that transition as early as your first semester at Windward or your last semester at Windward. We are a resource for you to utilize. With our academic advising, we try to make it as easy as possible for you to book an appointment. So you can do so through your STAR, using STAR Balance. We have 3 types of appointments that you can book. We have an in-person option, we have an over-the-phone option, and then we have a Zoom appointment. So by going through your STAR, you can access STAR Balance, look us up, and book an appointment that way. If you encounter any problems or if you don't have access to STAR, you can always email us and we can manually book that appointment for you.
And we do offer the convenient option of phone appointments. On STAR Balance, you would just indicate your interest in a phone appointment and then provide a phone number for the advisor to reach you at.
So, please make an appointment to speak with one of our advisors to discuss your degree requirements and appropriate course sequencing, and to just get to know us. We'd love to get to know you as well too, and find out about your goals and dreams and passions. We're happy to guide you through your academic journey. So you can find out a lot of information on our website. The website is www.ctahr.hawaii.edu/UG advising.
What I love about CTAR, or our college, is that we are a small college within a large university. We are very dedicated to our students, and we want to see you succeed, and we do everything that we can to ensure that. So we have 3 academic advisors that are here full-time to help you with your academic planning. But on top of that, especially for entering in a major such as Human Development and Family Studies, you have faculty that are very caring and very invested in your success as well. With Human Development and Family Studies, where it's a major that is applicable to so many different graduate programs or career pathways, your options are pretty much endless.
I truly feel that all the majors offered through our college, through CTAR, are designed to teach our graduates to help society move forward positively, which is something that I think we definitely need, especially during these trying times. That's really what I love about working with the students in our college. They all have this passion and drive to just try to make a difference in the lives of others, whether, it's people who are very close to them, or, maybe people they don't even know. They just want to help out and help make a better life for our society. And so it's always so inspiring working with our students in the college. And just thank you so much again for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Something that you can look forward to? Well, when I started working for CTAR, something I immediately noticed was the strong sense of community and college pride. There will be many opportunities for you to connect with faculty, staff, and other students in CTAR. Why not begin that now? We look forward to meeting all of you and cheering you on throughout your educational journey.
This is the second time I've done this. Okay, here we go. Just contact information. Like I said, ours was a little lighter on the specific details, but you can always find them by contacting any one of us. So thank you for hanging in all that time. We really appreciate it. Questions?
Mahalo, thank you so much for that amazing presentation. I loved all of the videos that you shared with us. So thank you so much. So before we get started, we did have a question in the chat. If CTAR was different from UH Mānoa, so don't worry, CTAR is an entity within UH Mānoa. So similar to how we have like a College of Education, a College of Engineering, School of Social Work, we have a College of Tropical Agriculture, Human Resources, which HDFS is a part of. And then we have a question in the Q&A. So we had a couple of callers today from the neighbor islands, and this person is from Big Island. She's asking if this program might be hybrid or online in the future. Do you folks have any thoughts about that?
Right now, it is all online, pretty much.
Yeah.
We can't make any guarantees. I've been involved in making the capstone portfolio online. I did it last summer for a student who was in the Air National Guard. So he completed it from Guam and Germany. And I had him do a portfolio online. And it was really, really effective. And he's already got a job with the with the military. But I was looking online at a lot of different portfolios, and I think it can be done online. And I think you can use that to help you get a job. So the answer is a definite maybe.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear that the program's moving in that direction. So I know folks from Maui, from Big Island, from Kauai are sure to like that option.
And we definitely have internships online. So what some students will do is they'll stay on Oahu for their course year, the academic year. Then they'll do their internship over the summer. That's much more common, and that's much easier for people because they get free room and board while they do their internship. And we've got those on all the neighbor islands.
We have another question in the Q&A that says, thank you, this is such an amazing department providing essential training / education that is relevant to all. Any plans to offer HDFS courses through Outreach College for students interested in this area, but not a Manoa student?
We do. We've got a lot of summer classes that we offer on Outreach College. And in fact, we're working with Learning to Grow, which is a federal grant that helps childcare providers around the state. And we're working with them to use our classes to provide continuing education opportunities for people who are already employed.
Mm-hmm. Following up on that, are there any Outreach College courses offered in the fall and spring?
We don't typically. We've had those discussions with Learning to Grow. So right now there's not, but if you could suggest some, but we wouldn't be averse to trying it out and working on it. The way that Outreach typically works is we have enough students who are interested to pay for the professor's salary, which is usually around 5 or 6, we can offer an Outreach College. Okay, next question is for Nicole.
Nicole, could you talk about maybe why you decided to choose HDFS as a major, and what are you hoping to do after you graduate?
So for me, I was actually a KAE student, and I was at KCC, and I took classes at HCC. So I was so overwhelmed because there's so much opportunities and different majors at Manoa, and I didn't know which one best fit my career goals. And my career goal is to be either a counselor in high school or work with students either in college and be a support system either way for either if I choose high school or college. And just to help even those like who are first generation students and like the other wide range that there is when they come into higher education. For myself, I'm a first generation student, and I had to basically figure some stuff out on my own, and not everyone has that support. So I'm kind of leaning towards more for the higher ed route right now, but I'm still debating between the two areas. But basically, I'm hoping to go into a master's program, but still trying to find which one is my best fit. But I really think this program is a great foundation for me as well, because it's a good spectrum. Like if I do change my mind in the future, I can also use that to help me as well. Because again, when I become older, I might change my interest, and sometimes it's good to have that extra like side that like, oh, I learned this in school in my bachelor's, and I can use that for my career, you know, in the future.
I've had students go into law. A couple have gone into family law. In fact, one of our interventions is with arbitration with the court service, Child Protective Services. And I've also had students go on to medicine too, become family doctors. You know, it's a really great foundation for anything that you can do, Nicole. And I'm glad you didn't say how old is. Thank you.
Well, hello, Nicole. Yeah, I forgot which one of you said it earlier, but HDFS is definitely a hidden gem at Manoa where there's just so much opportunities to be had. And I almost majored in it. I just didn't find out about it to my senior year. And then I emailed Dr. Caulfield.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I triple major? And he's like, no, maybe go to grad school.
He's our hidden gem. Dr. Caulfield is our great guy.
So we have another question in the Q&A. Could you folks talk a little bit more about the internships that are available through HDFS, and is there a child life specialist internship available?
So for I can talk about a little bit about what the internship is. I'm actually gonna be taking my internship next semester. There's a packet that you have to fill out before that internship in the semester that you choose to take. And they ask you questions and they can help you. It helps you to choose the internship that best fits to what you're interested in. But I think Dr. Yankura can talk more about the child life specialist if on that end.
We have several. Lynn Yamashita is in charge of them, and she's really close to the supervisors and the communities. And I know that there's a list online. So if you just Google HDFS UH Mānoa internship, it'll give you the specific companies and jobs that are involved with it. I do know, thinking of the child life specialist, or typically with hospitals, there may be some internships with similar programs at hospitals. I also know, just because it's close to campus, a lot of students, the Ronald McDonald House is a very popular internship, which they work with that sort of population, critically ill children and their families. So I don't know 100% if there's a specific one with the title of child life specialist, but I'm positive there are several that have very, very similar duties and backgrounds.
Thank you. If anybody has more questions, feel free to add them to the chat or the Q&A. And I had one more question for you folks. So I do know HDFS 230 is offered on most of our community college campuses, I think almost all of them. But are there any other courses you would recommend our community college students to think about taking before they transfer?
Me? Nicole? Or I think actually that's part of what we're developing with Windward. We're developing a specific articulation agreement with some of their social science courses, and we will take a lot of courses, and there's that website that Amy can help you with that you can double check whether they transfer over. Yeah. But in the future, I know that we're moving toward, and I'm hoping that the Kumu'ola program provides sort of a template for everybody to get on the same page. Because our goal is for people to do their first 2 years at community college and have all of their classes transfer over so they don't have to repeat anything at UHM. Mm-hmm. And I know we're almost there with at Windward, and that will be the first step with the other community colleges. And we will work as much as we can, because I think it's very silly to have to take another class with the very similar class. So we're working on that. And our faculty is really dedicated to that because we all think it's silly.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's really great to hear that you folks are, transfer friendly and moving in that direction. Awesome. Are there any last questions from our audience? Oh, wait, one just popped in. Is it adoption agencies that work with the hospitals career-wise? I'm not sure. Can whoever put that in the Q&A elaborate a little bit more for us, please? If anybody wants to take a stab.
I think that was in the career section. They're probably looking at the adoption agencies. And that was pretty general. I know that adoptions are different depending on the developmental age of the child, whether it's straight from birth. So I can't answer that question specifically, but if you're talking about a situation that you know of, or a company that you already work for or you'd like to work for, you can arrange your own internship. So, certain things have to be met. The company has to have insurance, you have to have a supervisor, and you can be paid for it. In fact, I pay routinely some research interns to learn the craft of research with me. The only stipulation is, because the part of the role of the internship is to get you to learn something new and try something new, your internship cannot be with the job you already have. In rare cases, I've seen that be accepted, but it would be like the job you already have, the company you already work for and somebody be doing something totally different. So someone could be a childcare. I had someone who worked for Kamehameha Schools, and I think they did after-school childcare, and they moved to an administrative intern. Different types of jobs are the only ones I've seen, but it's possible. So if you have a specific situation in mind, you would, with plenty of time the semester before, talk to the internship coordinator, and they would be happy to work with you to make it work. Does that help? Does that help?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks. All right. Oh, Nicole, sorry. You want to jump in?
No, sorry. I think there's a student that had a question prior, like asking what courses to take at PC, well, what courses to take before transferring. I can try to answer that. I think it went on the other side. But basically, you can start taking your prereqs, such as food science, and human nutrition 185. And then the econ, you can either take econ 120 or 121, I think. But for sure, I would recommend taking the prereqs if you can, because some of them, that's a requirement for, I think, to get into the college, but for sure it's on the program sheet.
Yeah, so get your general ed out of the way. And you don't need to worry too much about your upper division writing intensive, because we're getting more and more HDFS that supply that. So we've got your E, your W. Try to take an oral focus if you can, because we don't have too many of those in the program.
Thank you. And I also dropped a link to the program sheets into the chat, as well as the transfer database.
I meant to say, yes.
And then our last question, because I know we're actually over time, but is there a possibility I can do an internship on a neighbor island?
Definitely, definitely. We try to, normally we have them in the summers, probably during this time of COVID. That would work during the school year too, because you'd be taking your other classes on the neighbor island. Mm-hmm. And again, that would just require that internship would have insurance and somebody to supervise you and be approved by our internship coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Yankura, Nicole. And then let me switch the slide.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
I'm so glad our students are so lucky to have you. Really. And thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Sorry, this is Laurie. Kaylin, I just wanted to respond that, you know, how you're asking about what courses would we recommend. So I'm not sure if you're talking about in addition to the requirements, but if you're wondering about other courses, like sometimes people in social sciences, they want to pick up a foreign language or work on their speech or things like that. So I'm not sure if that's what you're alluding to, but I just wanted to encourage you to see your counselor so you can be on track with the courses you need and maybe courses that might supplement you as a future worker in family services. So thanks for the question.
Thank you, Lori. Good answer. Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. If you could, if you're still on the call, please fill out an evaluation. I just put the link into the chat. And our next workshop is going to be on October 6th with the College of Engineering and Computer Science.